Hello everyone, myself Nitin Sanmukhani, and I welcome you all to my this new YouTube channel. And basically, the main intention to make this new YouTube channel is to learn Materia Medica in different angles. So, let us learn together. So for today, now we are going to start with to understand the pathogenesis of one of the remedy which is very basic in our materia medica, that is abrotenum. The abrotenum is usually used for the child. Basically, we are talking as a marasmatic child. So we can say why the abrotenum is having the marasmus. Why not other remedies like other like aconite or any other else? Why not they are having the marasmus? So we should know the main action of the abrotenum. So first, the abrotenum is having main action on the metabolism of the person. So when the metabolism is getting affected, first the carbohydrate metabolism is going to become affected. Because of the disturbance in the carbohydrate metabolism, the insulin is not able to metabolize the glucose properly, and due to this it will start acting upon the protein, especially the muscle protein, not the liver, but the muscle protein is going to be affected. Because of this, the protein is getting metabolized and metabolized continuously. Due to this, the protein deficiency is going to be seen in the body of the person. So generally hypoalbuminemia or the protein deficiency symptoms are going to be seen. So suppose when the person is getting deficiency in the protein, the plasma osmotic or the plasma oncotic pressure is also getting decreased. Because of that, the plasma is unable to retain inside the blood vessel itself. So it is going to come out from the blood vessel and getting accumulated inside the near about interstitial spaces. Due to this, it leads to the edema in the tissues. Now, as usual, we are seeing that because of the protein deficiency, edema is seen, and this is the main symptom of abrotenum. And after the protein deficiency, usually we can say the protein is also very much responsible or useful for production of immunoglobulins in our body. So because of that, they are not going to get synthesized. Due to that, the chances of recurrent infections is also getting increased. Because of this, the infections initially will be at the superficial level, but gradually these type of infections are going to get transmitted from the superficial aspect of the person to the deeper aspect. That is, suppose if a person was suffering from streptococcal infection of the throat, it will be getting transmitted to the infection in that of the heart. So when the streptococcal infection enters into the heart, it is known as an heart pathology. Or we can say suppose if a person was suffering from rheumatism of a knee joint, so that was a superficial, or we can say that was an outer pathology. So when that was getting deeper and deeper into the tissues, and when finally it reached the heart, it is known as a rheumatic heart disease. So we can say that initially it was a superficial pathology, and now it has transferred to the heart, that it is getting deeper pathology. So initially the process was started from the sora, that is was the deficiency of a particular thing, that is a protein, but now gradually it has entered into a deeper organ, important organ, that is heart. So it is transferred from the sora to the syphilitic miasm, because when the heart or when any type of important organ is getting affected, that is nothing but causing destruction of the body. So from the sora to the syphilitic, it has transmitted the disease. So in this way, the complete patient of the abrotenum is getting suffered a lot from the conditions of marasmus. Along with the common symptoms of marasmus, the sorosyphilitic miasmatic symptoms are also getting seen on the person's constitutional level. So that's all for abrotenum according to my understanding. So thank you.